Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we are now at the end of week 2. Obviously, we have some Monday night games tonight, but I wanted to drop our week 3 waiver wire video to get you guys ready and prepared for this new week. Hopefully, you guys are in the lead, and obviously, with the 2 Monday night games, you are going to have some great plays tonight to help get you that victory and finish off with a win. Now, before we get into the waivers, I want to say thank you, Cowboys, for winning. I finally get a haircut, and I think that helped. And Cooper Rush looked amazing, but we're not going to talk about that too much. But I was excited for that. It was a really good game. There actually were a lot of amazing games this weekend, some down to the wire. Some teams are surprising, right? Weeks 1 and 2, you kind of just see what team strategies are going to be, where they're starting to go. And then obviously you start to really kind of feel comfortable who you should be starting and sitting every week. And then, of course, who you should be picking up in waivers just like this. Now, the first players I want to talk about are the quarterback position. Now, first guy I'm going to have available is going to be Tua. Look, Tua obviously had a career-defining game yesterday against the Ravens. He had 6 passing touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but that fourth quarter was one of the best fourth quarters I've ever seen from any quarterback ever play. He just had accuracy down the field. He wasn't afraid to throw down the ball. Mike Daniels did a really good job of putting some good play calls. So with that said, he is available in 39% of most leagues. Now, I'm not saying he's going to put up this type of performance every single week, but if you have the ability to pick him up, or if you're somebody who streams your quarterbacks, this is somebody you may want to pick up and consider. Now, he is going against Buffalo. Buffalo is obviously a little bit better team defensively than I think Baltimore Ravens are, but with that said, he still has amazing weapons. You've got Gesicki who showed up. Obviously, Waddle and Hill are amazing. Now, the running backs, obviously, we have some hope and work in as far as what they're going to do for that offense and what they're going to do for fantasy. But Tua looked amazing yesterday, and I think he's somebody you do want to try to grab. Again, 39% of most leagues he's available. You're definitely going to try to grab him right away. Another guy I'm going to mention again, like I did in week 1, is Carson Wentz. Now, I'm not a fan of Carson Wentz just because of the fact that he's a Washington Commander, but we've got to admit the fact that 2 weeks in a row he's thrown more than 3 touchdowns a game and 300 yards in passing or more. So his performance looks really good. He's got some great weapons with McLaurin. He's got a great connection with Curtis Samuel. Jahan Dotson scored a touchdown again. And his matchups are a little bit easier than I would say Tua, right? Obviously going against Buffalo, but at this point, being available 49%, he should be picked up. He's scored over 20 plus points in fantasy each week so far this season. Now, are there going to be some duds in there? Absolutely. Carson Wentz is not the most accurate quarterback every single week. He's not going to be the guy who's going to be putting up 3 touchdowns every single game, but he has that big playability, and I like this offense for him. He actually does a really good job. So again, if you're looking to either stream or just have someone that needs to replace maybe your starting quarterback, Carson Wentz is a good one. Last quarterback I'm going to mention is obviously Jimmy G. Jimmy G, who possibly could have been on a whole nother team, is now back in the starting lineup. Obviously, Trey Lance, unfortunately, did have an injury that essentially is putting him out for the season. They put him in an air cast around his ankle, and he's obviously going to have ankle surgery on Monday. But with that said, Jimmy G is available in 97% of most leagues. I'm not saying going out and just grab him, but you're going to probably drop Trey Lance unless you're in Dynasty. You're going to need to fill in for a quarterback, and maybe it's Carson, maybe it's Tua. Or if those guys are gone, Jimmy G is a good option for you guys. He's done a really good job. He's averaged about 15 fantasy points a game as of last year. And he knows this offense really well. So it's not like it's going to change drastically. He just doesn't have the same running capability that Trey Lance could have brought to this offense. So it's going to change a bit for the 49ers, but not so much the fact that obviously Jimmy G was there last year. Now, as far as running backs go, the only running back I'm going to mention as far as someone you might want to pick up is Darrell Williams for the Cardinals. He's available in 97% of most leagues. Now, if you're in a deep league, he might be somebody you want to stash, or maybe if you're a James Conner owner, you might want to stash him. Conner did get hurt in the game. He didn't return. He's dealing with a leg injury. But with that said, it does seem that Conner is going to be back for next week. So Williams may not have any value. But again, this is somebody you might want to pick up if you have a really deep league. Or like I mentioned, if you have James Conner, you may want to handcuff him because he was immediately in the role to replace Conner as soon as he went out. So Darrell Williams is the RB2, not Benjamin, even though I do like him. Darrell Williams is the guy. Now, as far as wide receivers, I've got 4 guys here. I'm going to mention the first one is going to be Garrett Wilson. Now, I typically don't talk about rookies just because rookies sometimes can take a little bit longer to develop. But if you really look at the past 2 to 3 years, rookie wide receivers pretty much are dominant their first year no matter what. He's available in 79% of most leagues. He was targeted 8 times in the first game and then 14 times in this past weekend. So he's getting some crazy targets his way. He's had 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards on Sunday. And I like I mentioned, in any of my dynasty leagues or really any of my rookie rankings, I believe Garrett Wilson was the best receiver in this draft. He just went in a situation I wish he was in a little bit differently. But him and Joe Flacco have a really good connection. They do expect Joe to kind of play one more week, and then you're kind of handing it over to Zach Wilson, and hopefully that connection stays the same or grows into something further. The guy who's actually been kind of left out is Elijah Moore, which is interesting because I do like Elijah Moore and I love his talent. But really, Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis have been the really 2 guys on the outside that have been doing a really good job. So I like him a lot. Again, grab him this week. I'm going to mention Curtis Samuel again. Curtis Samuel, he's available in 31%, so it means people are starting to grab him. But 2 weeks straight of over 7 targets as far as receptions go. He's had a touchdown in each game. He's definitely the big playmaker for them. He's kind of that a la Deebo Samuel. He's doing some rushing, doing some receiving. Carson Wentz likes him. He's a big play kind of guy. He's not going to be a McLaurin or a Jahan Dotson, but I still think he's going to add a lot of value to this team. He is taking essentially the McKissick role, sort of. McKissick's kind of disappeared at this aspect because of Curtis Samuel being back, where he's been hurt the past couple years. So again, if he's available in your league, I would definitely stash him on my bench and then obviously probably stream him sometimes. There's some good matchups they have, and I'm putting him in there. Another guy is Jahan Dotson. Obviously, Dotson's available in 58% of most leagues. I didn't mention him before because, again, rookies can be a little different. But 2 weeks straight, he's had a touchdown. He looks good. He's not receiving a large amount of targets. So, again, this is kind of a boom or bust type of play if you're going to pick him up. It's probably going to be matchup based, or if you're dealing with a lot of injuries on your team. But I still think Dotson is someone you might want to consider, and again, stash if you have a really deep league. Now, the last guy I want to talk about as far as receiver goes is going to be Greg Dortch. Dortch obviously available at 94% of most leagues because realistically, the Cardinals aren't even mentioning who their injuries or who's out really to the last possible second like most teams. So Rondo Moore was expected to possibly play, then he was pulled out. Isabella pulled out. AJ Green did play. Dortch played. You still got Marquise Browns, who really wasn't really didn't show up in this past weekend. And then, of course, DeAndre Hopkins out. So Dortch was getting some targets. He's getting he's a little over 50 yards a game. He is seeing 6 targets a game as well. So while Moore and Isabella are out, Dortch is somebody you can definitely put in there, feel a little bit more confident. Again, matchup base and based off those injuries, he might be somebody there. He may be somebody you're not picking up in waivers today, but you might pick up towards the end of the week depending on what happens with Moore and Isabella. But I do like him. He has been targeted pretty heavily, so he's another good matchup guy. And now as far as tight ends go, the first guy is Tyler Higbee. Higbee's available in 36% of most leagues. He's averaging 10 targets a game right now in the first 2 games. So he's in a pass-heavy offense. He's getting the ball thrown to him. He's not wowing you as far as getting 80, 90, 100 yards, but in a PPR or even a premium tight end, he's giving you double-digit plus points. So he is very consistent so far in the first 2 weeks. And like I said, he's being targeted 10 times a game, which is huge. Another tight end I like is going to be Gerald Everett. Now, I didn't mention him in my first week 1 waiver wire just because I wasn't sold on the fact that he actually may be a consistent tight end. But he's done a pretty good job. He is available in 44% of most leagues. He's seen over 50 yards receiving in each game so far. He's averaging about 5 targets a game as well. Now, he can be a little bit more of a touchdown reliant tight end. And the fact that Keenan Allen didn't play obviously on Thursday as well added the value to Gerald Everett, but I think he's going to be somebody who might be a mainstay on your bench, or again, might even be your tight end that you're starting, especially in those deeper leagues. The last guy I have is Tyler Conklin. I like Conklin in this Jets offense. He's available in 98% of most leagues. He's averaging 8 targets a game right now in the first 2 games, which is huge. Again, Conklin, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson are getting the targets. Elijah Moore, unfortunately, is not right now. He is seeing double-digit performance as far as PPR goes, so he's averaging over 10 points in fantasy. So again, like Everett, I was kind of hesitant on how he was going to perform, but I have mentioned him as a good start, and because of based off of his targets he's seeing, right now I feel a little more confident that he is going to be somebody is going to be involved in this offense who's going to help get you at least 8 to 10, maybe 12 points a game, which is very good at the tight end position. You're seeing tight end players like George Kittle, who hasn't played, Kyle Pitts, who is heavily drafted, but again, seeing 3 points a game. So some of these top tier tight ends aren't performing the way you're hoping, and you got guys on the waivers that are going to get you some 8 to 10 points a game. So again, don't be afraid to stream some tight ends to help you out, especially in the matchups. So those are my week 3 waiver wire video. Again, if you guys have not already, check out our week 2 as well, because it might be some players that are still available and based off of that. But these are your guys that are looking at as far as week 3 goes. It's crazy that we're already starting to go into week 3 already, which is awesome. Hopefully you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you guys have not already, make sure you hit that button and that notification bell is on. That way you guys are notified every time we drop a video just like this. And of course, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. We'll be dropping our start and sit videos as well this week. And we'll be dropping our first trade buy low video as well this week. It's kind of possibly get you into those trade values there. So again, check out the other videos when you can, and I'll see you guys next time.